All right, guys, I'm back. Welcome to the HardBody Chronicle for the fifth episode. I apologize for the delay in getting a new episode out there. I was trying to troubleshoot some equipment, and as you can see, I'm trying to do a different uh, setup, I guess. My laptop gets really loud and hot when I'm recording, so you can actually hear that in the mic, especially this one, since it's much more sensitive than the other crappy headset that I had. So just trying some stuff out. Yeah, welcome to my new setup, my my auditioning couch setup that I have, Mexican version. So yeah, we'll try this out, see how it goes. But if it works out, I'm probably just gonna camp out here and do all my podcasts from my couch, which is pretty comfortable. Usually on my computer desk, I'm kind of hunched over and shit, and that's fucking. After a while, it's a little tiring. So figure I can switch it up here, relax, chill, have a drink. Um, I'm not really looking at the camera because I have my notes up on my TV. So I'm not. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Well, it's funny to me when I'm looking at it because I have the video recording going on, so I see myself and then my notes, so I don't fucking just ramble incoherently for 30 minutes. Try to have some semblance of a plan with this thing. So yeah, here we are. We're doing it. Got some good natural lighting in here, so I'll take advantage of it for today. Yeah. So hopefully I didn't lose all 10 subscribers from my lack of uploads. Like I said, I've been busy and I had some technical difficulties that I was trying to figure out. Hopefully they're good to go from here on out and there won't be any issues, and we'll see how this layout goes. Yeah, see, the only thing we can just get right into it. One of the biggest things going on right now, if you're anything into sports, and that was The Last Dance, which is, if you don't know what that is, you're probably not my friend. But no, The Last Dance is just uh, pretty much like an autobiography of Jordan's last seasons, and some of it, beginning and the end of it, uh, and pretty much the last game before he called it quits. And it was a 10-part documentary series, so hour-long episodes. So this went on for about 5 weeks, which I don't know what happened in those 5 weeks. Like, what the fuck's been going on? That went by really quickly now that I'm thinking about it, and I don't like it. But that could be in part just because of the pandemic and all this other shit that's going on across the world. But yeah, just I think initial reactions to the whole thing. I don't know if a lot of people nowadays even know about Michael Jordan outside of his shoes. Um, Many people probably never saw him play live. Um, they just know that he won X amount of championships, and everyone else has kind of been trying to get to his level, I guess. Like Kobe, rest in peace, LeBron. There's always it always made it seem they made it seem like it was a catch up race to get to Michael Jordan's accomplishments. And nowadays, I mean, I'm almost 40, so to be honest, the average kid who's watching basketball now has no fucking idea who Jordan was outside of from the shoes. So it's kind of interesting to put Jordan back in the limelight, so to speak, with this documentary. Whether or not it accomplished that, I'm not sure. I think for a lot of the older fans, it was awesome seeing it. Just seeing him be really upfront, and also other players give their honest opinions about everything going on um, when they played with him or against him. That was interesting to see, just because it's like kind of takes you back to what, the '90s, which is quite some time ago. So, um, yeah, and I mean, I'm not really going to get into the specifics of it. If you know the history of Jordan, then there's no point in me repeating it. But I think just going on my gut reactions, just seeing a lot of those plays um, all over again, it was kind of like seeing it for the first time. Like I fucking like butterflies in my stomach just seeing that shit go down. Um, to me nowadays, like it's rare that I have that feeling towards anything actually, but that's a whole another issue. But yeah, just kind of seeing that all over again. Um, those ridiculous shots he would make to close out the games, and it was a trip just seeing it all over again. Um, and I think to me, it wasn't so much about trying to solidify Michael Jordan as the GOAT. Um, someone's always going to come around and maybe surpass that, whether that's going to be LeBron or someone else. I don't know. It could be generations from now. But to me, what it was kind of, what the documentary did for me was kind of present a lot of these big questions um, about what it means to be great. Um, Again, I think I mean, yeah, like like what makes someone great? Like, what is it? This X factor that they have that um, they can just go beyond what anyone else can do. And it doesn't have to be sports; it could be anything, like anything that just makes you better than the competition, right? And that's a very capitalist thing. It's a very American thing that you always have to try to be the best. Um, and some people are just driven just to be better. They're just wired like that, and that's um, always also interesting to see who. Because I mean, if you look at Jordan's background, he wasn't. He had a decent upbringing. He wasn't impoverished, but he still had the the drive and the grit to get through whatever was thrown at him, and he would thrive, and he would just get past it and be the best, and just accomplish those goals, whatever it was, whether it was getting better in high school or through college, and then eventually the NBA. He was fairly consistent in overcoming pretty much anything that came across his way. Um, so, in a sense, it's the ultimate American success story, right? Where you come from humble beginnings, and then you just become this fucking legend, and you're solidified as one of the greatest of all time. Your memory is going to live on forever. You will essentially never die, until you know eons from now. But you will always, like, as long as the NBA is around, Jordan's going to be around, and it's forever. They're forever one and the same, kind of like, it's just kind of, it's established that this is one of the greatest to ever play the game. And good luck trying to match that in any way. And like I said, that's probably gonna happen, but it's gonna be a long time before that's the case. So, um, but yeah, like I'm saying, like I think to me, the Last Dance kind of brings about these big questions, like why do we idolize greatness, right? Why do we put these accomplishments, these very impressive accomplishments, above like everything else, right? Like, it's not like if you really you want to psychoanalyze it, Jordan wasn't a nice guy, right? But then the most successful people in life aren't nice. Like they step on necks to get to the next level, and they have no problem doing that. Now, um, whether that's the way it should be, that's an even bigger question. I don't know, but at least for now, and kind of the systems that are in place. That's kind of what it takes to get ahead. And I think one of the interesting, well, one of the main reoccurring things that came up in discussing the show is that, well, Jordan was hesitant about putting this out because when people see everything, he may not be the most likable individual. And the thing is, though, everyone already knew that. Like, it's not. There's been stories. There isn't like the social media thing. You didn't have to deal with that back then, so you could probably get away with a lot more dirt than you can nowadays. But some people are just cut from a different cloth, right? Like Steve Jobs, for example, fucking asshole. Jordan, an asshole. You could say even Bill Gates was an asshole until he got to the top, and then he, had a change of heart. But everyone who gets to the top of their field is ready to do what needs to be done. Um, and I think it's just weird how that's kind of praise. That's actually what everyone wants. Like, yeah, you should be that killer. Maybe nowadays it's not so PC anymore. Like, it's, oh no, everyone gets a chance. Um, but the games, the rules of the game are set, and that's something that I say all the time. Like, it's like I want everyone on an even playing field. Um, and then let's go from there. But until then, the rules are set, and I'm trying to get my piece of the pie. And fuck everybody else, right? Just know that when I get to the top, we all eat. Don't worry about it. Like, I'll take care of you. But until then, let me do what I got to do. Don't fucking hold it against me, because I'm willing to go above and beyond, right? And I think, yeah, it's just the thing with really successful people that we're just kind of shitty individuals, or maybe not shitty, but just selfish. And I think nowadays being selfish is frowned upon, but I think that's a very ignorant approach to it. Um, if you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of others. I mean, that's fucking life 101. If you're shits and shambles, you're not much use to anybody else, right? So, um, being selfish, looking out for your best interests before everyone else's, is the best approach. Um, so I don't know, if you're good at something and you want to make it so that that's the thing that propels you to the next level, to success, to financial success and stability. That's You shouldn't feel bad for pursuing it. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. At the end of the day, it's almost a non-issue. I don't give a fuck if Jordan was an asshole. He was an. You could see it when he was playing. Like, it was, he was a dick across the board constantly. All the shit he talked, you saw it when he was playing. Um, he get under the player's skin and whatnot, and he'd fuck with them, and that's fucking war. I mean, that's do what you got to do. Like, I don't hold that against people like that. Like, you're playing the fucking game. If they can't get with it, they're gonna lose. And to be honest, I have no sympathy for sore losers. Like, you know, take an honest look at yourself and see why you lost, right? Or why you didn't get that job promotion, why you got beat out, why you didn't get into that program you were trying to study for. Like, really take a take a deep look into yourself to see what's lacking, right? And that, I think just you got to be accountable to yourself and be honest with yourself as to what you need to do to get yourself to the next level. And I think for me, that is kind of what I take away from successful people, from whether it's sports, business, it doesn't matter. Like, they all do the same things, but they apply it to their field. So, I mean, and that's kind of that's what I take away from these kind of documentaries, and it's kind of things you already knew, but it's interesting to see it from the person themselves and the people around them at that time. So yeah, that's why I definitely wanted to discuss this to some extent on the podcast, because I think it's almost like a cultural event that we all, there's no fucking sports to watch, so we're stuck watching shit from the 90s, but it happens to be the greatest player of all time, essentially. So it was definitely interesting to see that and relive a lot of those moments. I think what's going to happen now is that anyone who played during the Jordan years, it's going to be like, oh, this guy was always underrated. Of course, because he had a fucking deal with Jordan. Like, Jordan just cast a shadow over the entire league that it was hard to really step outside of that and be seen as great, because there was already one guy who was arguably one of the best to ever do it. So, so yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, the you go on Twitter or any kind of sports site, we're still talking about it. So, it's definitely opened up a like a time capsule of sports history that's interesting to the older generation. And yeah, so I think, but like back to what I was saying, the when Jordan is worried about coming across as a dick, like it's warranted. Like, he wasn't really political when given the chance. Like that one quote saying, Republicans buy sneakers too. Like, sure, right? I mean, obviously, but he wasn't about to let anything get in the way of him getting, his share of the pie. He wants everyone to buy his fucking shoes. It doesn't matter if you're white, black, red, blue. He wants to cash in on your fandom, and that makes sense. I mean, very different from nowadays. Like, LeBron is very outspoken, um, and that's fine. I mean, it's you shouldn't be. You shouldn't have to feel like you should be a role model for people in those situations, because that's a game you can't win, because then whatever you say or do is never enough, right? If you just say, fuck it, I'm going to bow out, I'm not going to give you my opinion on shit, all that matters is what I do on the court and the rings that I get. That's all you need to worry about. Don't worry about who I'm voting for, or what causes I'm into, because then it's just a slippery slope. You just, oh well, you didn't do this, or you didn't back this guy, or you didn't say this when this thing happened, and that's you can't. It's hard to win, and you have to be super dedicated. And the people who do, you know, let it be known what they think on certain things. I mean, more power to them, but you shouldn't be penalized for not taking a stand sometimes, depending on what it is that you're doing. Um, so yeah, and I think one of the things that like one of the things is like fucking burned in my memory from the documentary. Excuse me, sorry. Um, I forget what episode it was, but it's like the last bit of the episode, and Jordan says, "Winning has a price. Leadership has a price," and he starts like tearing up. And for me, that's forever burned in my memory now, because I feel that for anyone who's ever pushed themselves and try to put themselves out there to 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 better their situation, whether that's in, professionally or in sports, or if you ever gave it, 100%, and then you succeed, it comes at a cost, right? That shit wasn't free. There was a sacrifice that needed to occur for you to get to that next level, right? My success comes at the cost of your success, right? And that takes a toll. That's exhausting. That is, and to sometimes when you think back about all the shit you had to do to get by and be where you are, like, you may not like what you had to do to get to that point in life, but that's the sacrifice, right? You have to make it worth something. And I think when he said that, so you just, I think back of times when I put myself out there, when I failed bad or whatever it was, but I came back, and then I said, all right, so that's where we're at. Okay, then I'm gonna fix that, or I'm gonna get better at this and that. So the next time this comes around, you're not gonna fucking deny me. And I mean it's I mean that's a grind, right? Just to try to better yourself, and yeah, because you can get by in life without ever putting yourself out there like that. You might be fine, but you're not great. And for the sociopaths like me, I mean, you can't just be like everybody else. You don't want that. That'd be the worst thing for you. You can't. I don't want to be like Joe Schmo over there, John Doe. No, that's the worst thing you can. I'd rather die than be like anybody else. So that's kind of for these people who are that driven. Um, it comes at a cost. Is it your soul that's being charged and paying for it? I don't know, but sometimes you gotta. I don't know. Sometimes you're just kind of like, man, fuck. Like, is it all worth it? Because the problem then is that those kind of people, they're never satiated. Nothing's ever enough, right? Like you get 100,000, you want 1,000,000, you want 2,000,000, you want 10, you want 1,000,000,000. It just goes on and on, right? That's just the thing. It's like, so I don't know, but I think the documentary as a whole just kind of made me think about, just younger times, good times when I had dreams and aspirations. Also, I got to enjoy some basketball, because at the time we had a team, but now we don't. So it just brought back a lot of memories. And but at the same time, now that I'm older and I'm seeing where I'm at, I'm not saying I'm going to be fucking Jordan of my field or anything. I'm just saying that uh, it does make you think about yourself and where you're at and how you're doing things, and maybe how you can improve upon them. But to me, that's a good thing. I mean, you can never settle for anything, right? You always got to set goals, And if you're not working towards something, then what the fuck are you doing, right? You're just coasting, and that doesn't get you anywhere. It doesn't make you stick out. It doesn't make you better. And for me, that's something that's this was like a good reminder of the fact that I'm not done with what I'm trying to do, right? Um, will I ever get to the greatness that I'm aspiring towards? I don't know, maybe not, but I'm fucking trying, and that's the difference. A lot of people just don't. They just give up. They just chill. And for them, that's probably enough. But for me, it's just it's not acceptable. Um, so it's a little exhausting. I won't deny it. But it explains a lot of why I am the way that I am, and I'm not going to make apologies for it. So, so yeah. So this was overall. I'm not going to give it a rating or anything, but I think it was very well done. Obviously, some players or ex-players are going to have issues with some of the stuff that he said or how he said it. And that's to be expected. But overall, I thought it was great, especially, and it really kind of got me the sports fix until the pandemic is over. So yeah, we're still on a. Excuse me. Sorry, this mic picks up everything. So if I burp, you might. I'm gonna try. I don't know. I'm gonna figure out when I rewatch this shit. I'm gonna figure out what it actually sounds like. But yeah, no, I'm really self-conscious about. Okay. Anyways, so yeah, so Last Dance, definitely check it out. Um, if you have, I don't know, what, 10 hours to spare, you probably do. I mean, I know what a lot of you guys do, so if I, I know what you do with your fucking free time, so it's all good. Um, so yeah, let's see what else. What else is going on? UFC 249 took place. Pretty good card. Um, Prelims up to the main event. It was all solid. It happened so long ago, though. I'm only going to talk about the main event. Um, Ferguson lost to Gaethje, and Gaethje came through. I mean, I don't know what. Well, the thing about Ferguson is that he's gotten by. Well, let me rephrase that. He's just good, right? So, you, and he's just a fighter. Like, what I mean by that is just if you put him against anybody, for the most part, he'll figure something out um, to to land some damage. But I think Gaethje, um, just took it straight to Ferguson in a way that I don't think Ferguson was expecting. It was essentially an all stand-up battle, and Gaethje just pieced him up. Unfortunately, Ferguson just wasn't connecting as well. Um, at the end of the day, Gaethje got the clear win. I think Ferguson had a broken orbital. Yeah. So that's pretty much a crack right around here, which I've heard is um, extremely painful. So the fact that he finished that fight, I mean, Ferguson is fucking insane. Um, so yeah. Now, what happens after the fact? Actually, now because Ferguson lost, the matchups get more interesting because so like everything, there's always a cost benefit analysis trade off thing going on in life, which is how I see everything. But so we all wanted Habib versus Ferguson. That was a match, right? That should have happened. Now we're never going to get it. So that's kind of the what this all cost us, right? So thanks pandemic for fucking it all up. But anyways, so now Habib is never going to want to fight Ferguson because he lost. It wasn't so much like that it was a bad matchup. It's just now that he lost, Ferguson has no ammunition to make a case for the fight. But on the back end of that, it does make some interesting matchups available. Gaethje versus Khabib would be pretty good, I think. I mean, I'm not sure what Gaethje would do. I don't know if he would try to wrestle him, but seeing that Gaethje has good enough hands to get in on people, especially someone like Ferguson, then that does make it a little more interesting of a fight. I give Gaethje a better chance than I initially would have thought he'd have against Khabib. So that, I mean, if they do like a unification bout for the title, that'd be good. But also now they can maybe throw in Connor in the mix, whether he could fight Gaethje or even Ferguson, or maybe even Khabib. But I don't know how they could justify that. But so it does kind of open it up a little bit more than what we would have thought. So we as fans don't necessarily lose out too much. So there should still be some good matchups coming in. So we'll see. I don't know. I think maybe after June we'll have a better idea of what sports are like. Excuse me, sorry. I don't know if you I don't know if you're, but we'll see. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, excuse me. So just so this was Memorial Day weekend, and I went outside, and it was a night like Sunday. It was perfect weather, sunny. Everybody's out in the park, and it used to be that I would go outside and I see people at least wearing a mask. Yesterday, no, none of that. Everyone was out in the park, picnics, playing volleyball and shit. Like, it was kind of insane. And I'm kind of at that point now myself where I'm like, fuck it, right? Like, even with all the science that's presented to us on a daily basis, everyone's kind of at the end of their rope. I think, like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go outside, fuck the mask, whatever, don't care. So we'll see. I'm not. I just want the gym to open back up because I've definitely gained at least 5 pounds. I can see it in my face a little bit. I mean, I can get that. I can lose that pretty quick. It's just kind of, it's easier to justify just shit habits. Whether it's supporting local businesses or just drinking more beers than normal. I mean, I get it. Like, fuck it. Like, what's gonna happen next year, right? It can't. I hope it's not worse. What is it, fucking World War III? I don't know, right? Like why starve yourself? Just enjoy an extra piece of pizza or whatever the fuck it is you're eating. I don't know. So definitely sympathize for with everyone out there who was trying to do right and come at 2020 hard. That all kind of went to shit, but it's all good. I think hopefully summer more restrictions are removed, and hopefully that vaccine comes through. Because honestly, can you imagine going to a bar and there's like 10 people in there? I don't know. I mean, it's like, what are we gonna do, right? I don't think at least the American public was gonna make any compromises. It's like, this bar is open, we're all fucking going. Like, so it's cute. I like it. It's funny, but at the same time, like, you know, we just got to stop all these people from dying. Like, it's a real thing. It has to be addressed. So hopefully the vaccine comes through and we can move past this fucking episode and just start fresh 2021. So we'll see. So I think that's all I got for now. I think I'm going to try to be more consistent. I'm trying to think of a schedule for these podcasts. I'm thinking maybe once a week would be ideal, but I'm being honest, when it is a bit of work. Like I'm writing a fucking sermon every time I'm doing this, and it's kind of weird because it's like, how much of my egotistical ramblings do you want to listen to, right? Okay, I got to have a guest at some point. So we'll see. Ideally once a week. I think 2 or every other week is more realistic, and we'll just go from there. So any questions you guys have, anything you want me to talk about, feel free to leave in the comments. I'm trying to read them. The YouTube app is kind of weird. Like when you switch accounts, like sometimes there might have been a comment that I missed, and I don't see it until I switch the account on my app. So it should just tell me that someone so and so said this and that on the HardBody Chronicle. So, but I don't know. I'll try to figure that out. This is all new to me, so I apologize. Bear with me while I figure this shit out. So, yeah. So that's it for now, and I'll catch you guys later. Yeah. Stay healthy. Blessings to all of you for tuning in. Blessings to your families, and I'll try to catch you guys soon. All right. Blessings.